Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Sharon, and this video is going to be a feature and a little unboxing of a set of colored pencils. So as we can see, we don't really know what they are just yet from inside the box. Now I got these from Amazon, and I've taken them out of the big Amazon box because it had my address and stuff on there. You guys have seen what the big Amazon boxes look like, so that's not a big deal. But anyway, when I opened it up, it came in this little cardboard box here to protect them. So let's go ahead and take off this lid and let's see what we have in here. Drum roll, please. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Let's flip it over so we don't spill it everywhere. Wait for it. Here comes the suspense. The suspense. The suspense. We have, as you can see, we have Caran Pablo pencils, and we have the whole 120 set. I'm going to go ahead and take off this cellophane wrapper, and I'm going to show you what these pencils look like. Okay, so there are 120 pencils in here, and they are scotch taped. This lid is scotch taped. Oh man. I mean, it's good that they pack it up really nicely so that nothing happens, but it can be a little bit of a pain to get off of here. Alright, so as we can see, we have the whole 120 set of the Pablo pencils. Now, if you've seen my other video where I reviewed and colored a little bit with the Caran Luminance, these, not to be confused with the Luminance. The Luminance ones are wax-based. Pablo's are oil-based. Luminance comes with the most in a set is 76. This has 120. They're made by the same company. This still is Caran, but these are what Luminance is to wax-based pencils is what Pablo's and polychromos are to oil-based pencils. Now, these are quite different than the Luminance. We'll just go ahead and open them up here. It comes in this tin. Instead of a cardboard box, you get a tin with these Pablo pencils. And oh my gosh, and I had been told that there were a lot of different blues and stuff in there, and I can already see that. So it comes with this little paper telling you about the different products and things and about these pencils and so forth. Here is what the inside of the lid looks like. Let me go ahead and show you the back of the box. It's just got some information about the pencils. And this is a really heavy, substantial tin, I gotta say. So let's go ahead and open these up. Now, as you can see, these are a little different than the Luminance pencils. These are a hexagonal shape. As you can see, the color is all the way down the barrel, whereas the Luminance only had the color at the top of the pencil here. But as you can tell with these pencils, they've got a depiction of what color each pencil is. As I said, they're hexagonal shape instead of the round ones. So if you put your pencils in another case, then you'll be able to tell the Pablos apart from the Luminance, because the Luminance are round and they're a little heavier. The Pablos feel they're not as heavy, I guess. They're a different shape, so it's a different feel with these pencils. And also, as you can see, it's got the writing of it's got the writing on the pencil. It will say Pablo, and then it will have the name of the color on it. A little hard to see with the silver, but it's probably have to hold it kind of close to you, at least with me, because, you know, I have the bad eyesight, so it's a little hard for me to read, but that is okay. I'm probably going to make a color chart and a swatch page and all that. So, but anyway, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you the different trays that we have here. As I said, these are 120. There's 120 pencils in this set. I think you can get them in smaller sets as well, so it's if you want to get a smaller set, you can. Now the trays on these are really flimsy. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm probably not going to keep them in this tin because look at how they kind of bow and bend. You could easily lose your pencils out of here. Oh my gosh, I am not liking these trays. And actually, I kind of did this wrong. No wonder they kind of bowed and bend. The trays actually lift out. There's like metal underneath the trays, and they lift out like that. So yeah, do not pick the tray up by the little material. Lift it out by the metal, and then that will keep your pencils protected and your trays protected. Now this also has a little protector thing right here. Seems like each tray has a protection on it, and then this tray lifts off. You have, let me try to show you guys, you have this that you can lift up on it, and here's the colors in the second tray, as we can see. There's those colors. And then we've also got a third tray. And I don't think it's going to lift out because it's not really attached to the metal, but you don't want to lift them out. You just want to just go ahead and leave them in there because, as I said, the thing that the tray itself is really flimsy and you will lose your pencils. So here's the third row of colors. These are beautiful, guys. Absolutely stunning. And if you don't want to keep your protector on it, I would probably recommend keeping the protector on it if you're going to keep them in this tin, because the metal, you don't want the metal to scratch up your pencils. So they just go back in there like that. Now, I've not tried these out, so I don't know how well they color. I've been told that they color very nicely. Again, Caran, it's a Swiss company. These pencils are Swiss made. It's a Swiss company, and these Caran items, they also make fountain pen ink, and even the fountain pen ink is not a cheap prospect. You're going to be paying premium prices for a premium product. So just know that that's going to be the way it is with these Caran items. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pick out a color design, and we're going to do just a little bit of coloring with these. So we're going to think of this as a little mini color and gab. So in the case, such as what we do with these color and gabs, I'm going to do my little disclaimer. You guys know that, for those of you that have been watching my videos, you know that spit it out. You know that I am coloring with the visual impairment, but I'm going to go ahead and say it for anybody new that wanders in. I am coloring with the visual impairment. I have to get very close to my work to be able to see what I'm doing, which means more times than not, you're probably going to be seeing the back of my head over the picture. But in the cases like that, I do try to back off and show you what I have colored if you can't see what if you couldn't actually see the color lay down because of my head. So I do actually show you step by step what I do for when my head does get in the way. So just know that that's going to be the case. These color and gabs and stuff are a little different that way, and it's just the nature of the beast that I have to deal with. Thank you to those of you that have supported me and have watched it regardless and have liked it and everything regardless. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and just do a little mini color and gab just to test out these Pablo pencils, and I will tell you my thoughts on them, what I think of them. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pick a design and we'll get started. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and work on this little design here, and it's another one in my geometric shape coloring book. This is one that, as I explained in my other video, I kind of use this for testing and, you know, just for simple things, and I use this for my last color and gab. This is great for when you want to practice shading and some different techniques, because there's a lot of open space in it to be able to do that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and test out these Pablo pencils. So we're going to take, we are going to go ahead and take this color. Alright guys, so as I said, we're going to go ahead and take this color right here, and we're going to color in some of these bigger spaces so that we can just see how these pencils are going to test out. So again, I'm going to do my little disclaimer. I am coloring with the visual impairment. I have to get very close to my work. So a lot of times you're going to see my head in the way, but I will try to back off so that you guys can see the progress and just see how these work. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're just going to color this up a little bit, and we'll do just a little mini color and gab session, and I'll give you my thoughts on these pencils and what I think of them, the first impressions, and we will go from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to color this big space right here, and then we'll take a darker color and we'll see how they shade and stuff. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use just a real light pressure, and these go down real nice. You can deepen the pressure to get a darker color if you want to, like most colored pencils do. So far, in comparing these to the Luminance, I think, and I would have to use these a little bit more to just, to know for sure. But I think, just from the first impressions, I think the Luminance go down slightly better, or slightly softer, slightly with less effort, although these are very nice too. And I like a more rounded barrel rather than a hexagonal one, but that's just a cosmetic thing. So it's not a deal breaker. But these are very, very nice pencils. I think... Now, I think these would probably work really well with polychromos. Again, they're oil-based, as polychromos are as well. I don't think they're quite as soft as the polychromos. I don't think they're quite as creamy as the polychromos, but they are extremely nice pencils from what I can tell so far. I'm going to definitely enjoy the crap out of these, for sure. And again, it's just, what you're used to, and I am so used to my polychromos that, in my opinion, they're really a tough act to follow. So, again, it's just what you're used to. These are super high quality pencils, so you are not going to go wrong with these. But again, like the Luminance, these are quite pricey. So they're not going to be for everybody because, unless you're really going to enjoy doing this as a hobby or whatever. For some people, I know it would be really hard to justify spending the money on these pencils just because of the price. But I've wanted them and the Luminance for quite a long time, and I had done some work, and I was able to get some reimbursement, back for an expense, to get some of my expenses back from, from doing my job, from doing this work. And so I decided to treat myself, and I treated myself to these pencils. So I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I have them. There's some beautiful colors. They do go down smooth. And I'm going to try to get close to these lines here. They feel a little bit smaller in the hand than polychromos do. Again, it's a totally different feel because polychromos are round and these are hexagonal. I'm sure they sharpen nicely. I've not had a need to sharpen them as of yet, so I'll probably find out in my pencil sharpener later on when they do need sharpening. They seem to hold their point pretty well. Again, I'm using very light pressure on this pencil. Now with Prismacolors, because they're so soft, the core, you go through a lot of that core very quickly. But these pencils here, we don't seem to have that problem. They're not as soft and creamy as Prismacolors, but sometimes you can get too much of a good thing, I guess. I love my Prismacolors, don't get me wrong, but they are very fragile. They were the first color pencils I had in my life, except for Crayola when I was a kid, of course. So, you know, my Prismacolors are, you know, they're always going to have a special place in my heart. And I will obviously still continue to use them. I love them. But as I said, sometimes you can get too much of a good thing with how soft they are, because you do go through that core very, very quickly due to the softness of them. So I'm going to get a darker color of this, and we're just gonna see how it blends together. Let's see, that one may be a little bit too similar. Let's try this one here. This is quite a bit darker, so we're gonna try to get this is quite a bit darker than this blue-green here. And this is an actual blue color, but we're gonna see if we can actually we'll just see how this blends together. I want to get something pretty significantly different so that we can actually see how it's going to work together. So I'm going to go in between the nooks and crannies here, and we're just going to, again, I'm still using a very light pressure. Might need to darken it up just a little bit so that we can get that difference on top of it. And it overlays another, you know, the first base color very, very well. It does very, very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the edge here with this color, and then we're going to blend it out and see how it works. Now, these two pencils that I am using now, the laydown is pretty consistent across the board. As I said in the Luminance video, if you guys have watched that one, because that one will have gone up first before this one. I was saying how, you know, how some colored pencils you get, you can definitely tell how sometimes, you know, the different colors will react differently when you lay them down. These seem to be pretty consistent across the board, at least with these two pencils that I'm using. I haven't had any like real grainy ones or real hard ones or real kind of sandpapery ones that sometimes you get when the colors act a little different. I think you notice that a little bit more often with the lesser quality ones, like the student brand ones. Like you will see that the colors are going to react differently. They'll lay down a little bit differently. They'll feel differently when they lay down. Whereas this, pencils like this, or Luminance, I've even heard some people say that sometimes polychromos will act that way. I've never had that problem before. Like, I've never noticed that. Or, you know, if it's there, it's just been so subtle that I just never thought of anything of it. But pencils that you're going to be paying a little bit more for, especially ones that you're paying a premium price for, because you're getting a premium product, you're not gonna encounter that as much. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of laying in this color over here, in between these, you see these circles right there? I'm just kind of going in between the circles, and I'm doing the darker color just kind of around that edge on that outside there. And then we're going to blend it in with the lighter color, and we'll just see how it looks. We'll see how they blend, we'll see how they shade. We'll see what kind of an effort it takes to get them to blend together. Now, as I said, these Pablos are oil-based, so they're going to have a different feel than a wax pencil, especially a student grade one. In other words, these are not your Crayolas. Absolutely not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my lighter color again, and we're just going to go around this. They seem to blend very well. Again, to get the best results, just go with the light hand. You can build up the color as you need it. But these seem to really do great. I'd have to play with them a little bit more to determine if I think that they blend as well as the polychromos, because the polychromos do beautifully. And also you can also take a colorless blender and work with them that way, and I think they will do very well. They seem like that they would, because I'm getting like these kind of results with just doing it with the colored pencils. And you see that I'm being able to get rid of the harsh lines right there. Like it's blending very nicely together. It's blending really nicely together. So I'm really very, very happy with these. I'm very, very happy with these. So I think these are going to be awesome pencils to work with. And so there's this piece right there, that little area here. So again, like if you have any kind of hand pain or arthritis or tendonitis or something, I think these are going to be great pencils for you to use, because again, this is what I did with just real light pressure. So you don't need to press down at all. It's just the hexagonal barrel, you know, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, because it is if you're used to a round barrel. So, you know, just be mindful of that. But yeah, so that's pretty much how they work. And again, I've just used the 2 pencils, but I think that that these are going to be pretty consistent across the board. They're very pigmented. This is what we got with that light pressure, as I said. Very, very pigmented. Actually, let's see if we can color in. About if I use, let's go ahead and use this one to color in. I'll just do the center section, because that's going to drive me nuts if I don't do something with that. So again, we're just going to do just kind of a light pressure. And you know what, we'll do like a 1 pencil shading, and we'll see how that works. We'll see how that works. So we're going to fill this in with just some light pressure. And then I'm going to go ahead and just press down a little bit harder around the edge here, and then we'll blend it together. So we're just going to darken this part up a little bit right there. So you can actually get, and then we'll just go over it like this again here with the light hand to just see how much it blends. And it seems like it's doing very well. You probably, again, though, be better off with doing this with 2 different colors, it seems. I was using medium pressure there to try to get the darkness right there. Yeah. And I don't think these leads are going to break very easily, which is good. So we have our nice little rose color right there in that middle. So these color very nicely. These color very, very nicely. I'm really very, very, very pleased with them. Very, very pleased with them. So that is my first impressions of the Pablo pencils by Caran. This is what we've colored so far on this page. We've done some nice shading and blending and stuff with 2 of the blue-green one, and then the darker blue color right there. So as I said, I think that these are going to be really nice. You can get them to a pretty good sharp point, so you'll be able to get into the smaller spaces, I think. But yeah, I'm really going to enjoy these pencils. I just have to get used to the hexagonal barrel, but again, that's not a deal breaker. They feel a little smaller than, say, polychromos, and definitely smaller than the luminants. So, but again, you get really good color payoff. So you're still going to get a lot of bang for your buck. So anyway, the pros, if you get the biggest set, now they do come in smaller sets, but if you get the bigger set, it does have 120 colors, just like the polychromos do. You get some different colors than what polychromos offers, so you can actually, I think these will work very well with polychromos, and you'll be able to get a vast array of colors if you have both the polychromos and these. It comes in a really nice tin. It's very heavy duty. And then again, The tray material itself is very flimsy, but the actual tray rests on metal portion, so you would just take out the metal part when you're gonna lift up to get to the next layer. They do give you the protective papers to go over the top of it so that your metal tray doesn't scrape your next layer of pencils. Again, good color payoff, good blending, excellent blending, just a vast array of colors, just wonderful colors. The cons, again, the main thing is the price. Because, as I said, these are not for the faint of heart. They are quite pricey, but again, this is the kind of thing that you get what you pay for. You get a top-notch quality pencil for the money. So if you can spring for them, and if you can get that in your budget, and if you want a high-quality pencil, maybe to supplement with your polychromos, these are great. These are a great addition to have in your collection. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell me what you think. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. What are you waiting for? And hit that bell. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you all later. Okay, bye guys.